Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alrighty, so today I'm going to be using my new Zippo Yellow Flame Butane insert for the first time. I'm going to be letting y'all know what I think of it, and I'm going to be giving y'all my first impressions on it as well. And as a whole, I am quite excited to use this insert right here for the first time today, because I'm thinking it might very well solve one of my biggest issues with Zippo lighters, and that issue is fluid evaporation. As a whole, I am a pretty big fan of Zippo lighters like this one right here. I love how they feel in hand, I love how they look, I love the noises they make, but I don't like how fast the fluid evaporates. And generally speaking, with normal Zippo inserts, such as the one in this lighter right here, the fluid evaporates in 4 to 7 days. And I have had Zippo lighters strand me without flame multiple times, like over 5 times. And it's happened so much that these days, every time I'm carrying a Zippo lighter with a normal insert in it, I carry a backup lighter as well, because I've had my Zippo lighter work in the morning and not work in the afternoon. And actually, that's exactly what happened to me today, frankly put. I lit up my first cigarette of the day a little bit earlier on today, and then now I'm trying to light up my Zippo lighter and nothing. It's not working. The fluid has all evaporated due to the fact that you simply fill up normal Zippo inserts with fluid onto cotton, which then soaks into a wick. There's no sort of sealed chamber that makes sure that evaporation can't happen. It's a tried and true design. It's a very reliable design. It's a very good design, but it's not good for my personal uses. And that's where this insert right here comes in, because this insert is refilled with butane, and butane turns into a liquid under pressure. And since this insert right here has a sealed and pressurized chamber, well, it means that there's going to be no evaporation or anything like that. And it means that I'm going to be able to use this without having to worry about fluid evaporation for quite some time. My main worry with this insert would just be the fact that it might just run out, frankly put, but that's a worry with any lighter, in all honesty. It's not just this one. This insert should essentially make my Zippo lighter that I have right here into a refillable Bic, or into just a clipper lighter, but a way more fancy clipper lighter, frankly put. As a whole, I'm thinking that this insert should solve a lot of the issues, well, not really a lot of the issues, just the main one issue that I have with Zippo lighters, frankly put. I am looking forward to trying this though, as I'm sure is obvious, and I'm looking forward to finding out if it will actually solve the issue I have with Zippo lighters. Now, this insert right here might seem like it's all benefits and no downsides though, but there are some downsides. One of the things I really like about Zippo lighters is that they're made in the USA. They're made in Bradford, Pennsylvania. I love that. And we can see on the bottom of my lighter right here, made in Bradford, Pennsylvania. I love that. It's a made in USA product. As an American, I like buying made in USA stuff. This insert though is not made in the USA. It's made in China, and that combined with the fact that I've also heard kind of mixed reviews of this insert does make me a little bit more wary of it than not. But nonetheless, I am very excited to give this insert a go and to find out just how good or just how bad it actually is. And I do suppose I should probably go ahead and actually start going over what this lighter is all about and everything like that. Today I am going to be doing a little bit of a first impressions review, and so as such, I suppose I should probably go ahead and start going over the packaging to start finding out just how good or just how bad this lighter right here actually is. After I go over the packaging, I'm going to go ahead and get the insert all out. I'm going to go and let you guys know what it actually looks like, what the quality is like, how it works, and then after that, I'm going to go and put some of my butane fluid in it, and I'm going to go ahead and just stick it in my Zippo case that I've got right here, and I'm going to light it up for the first time and see how big the flame is and see how it works in general and see just how it feels in comparison to a normal Zippo insert. And then after that, I'm thinking I might get a little bit of a smoke lit up, and I might light a cigarette with this insert right here for the first time as well, and let y'all know just how good this insert is to light cigarettes. First off, though, as said, we gotta go over the packaging, which is a pretty nice look in my personal opinion. I can definitely tell they put some thought into the packaging. The overall background for the front of the packaging is very much that of a white with some sort of like very light whitish gray sort of colors as well. At the very top up here, we can see it's just a very sort of basic white background, but there's a little bit of a yellow tab right there, and it just says yellow flame right there, all in black. Makes sense, says yellow flame on the yellow tab. That is 100, that is totally understandable. That makes 100% sense, I think is really the best way of putting it, frankly put. But you know, just says yellow flame right there, and there's just a little hook thing so it can be hung up and whatnot in stores. Moving on below this area right here on the top, we can see just a white sort of background, no actual details going on right here, anything like that kind of thing. Moving on to the front, we can see white background and whatnot, but there's a lot more details going on than with the other two sides that I just showed y'all. At the very top right here, it just says Zippo in black. I want to say at least, and it says it much more boldly than not. I definitely have to say, it just says Zippo right there, but we can see the Zippo logo itself is in the top portion of a Z. There's a little bit of a Z right here that is all in sort of a gray, and that looks fantastic. I love the way that they integrated the Zippo Z with the background of the packaging. I think it looks really good. It's a nice sort of somewhat geometric look. I'm a fan of that, frankly put, but that's not all. We can see there's a little bit of a flame right here at the top of the hole where we can see the insert itself. And then below that, there's a little bit of like a white design with gray border lines of a normal Zippo case just right here. And then we can see the lid right there. So it's all integrated. So you kind of know how already, like how it's going to look in your case and everything like that. That's something I really like. The packaging of this is pretty dang nice, and I'm a bigger fan of it than not, I'll admit. Now, it is a little bit different than, let's say, your normal packaging that you'd get if you order just a normal Zippo lighter like this one right here, but it does still look pretty good, although I will admit not as fancy, I definitely have to say. Moving on below the sort of like lid design right here in black, it just says that this lighter does not contain butane gas. Lighter insert is empty. Read enclosed filling instructions. So I will be sure to do that before I get this insert right here all lit up and before I go ahead and fill it up, because I want to make sure I don't break it or anything like that kind of thing. Moving on, below this entire design right here, we get a red background, and in white on the red background, it just says genuine yellow flame butane lighter insert right there. And that is pretty much all there is to the front of the packaging. Overall, a pretty solid look that is definitely good for retail locations in my personal opinion. Moving on to the back of the packaging, we can see it's pretty much just all informational. We get a white background with then a black line and then a red background down there. And in black up here, it just says Zippo right there. And then there's a little bit of a warning label. It just says, warning, keep lighters and their fuels out of reach of children. And it says like ignite later away from face and clothing, blah, 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 blah. Pretty basic stuff, frankly put. Then we get a P65 warning courtesy of California. California ruining the fun for everybody once again, but hey, whatever. And then it just says, under that, and this is some important information, it just says that this insert is only designed to work with regular-sized, genuine Zippo windproof lighter models, including the regular, vintage, armor, and 1941 replica. It does not work with the slim or 1935 replica models. I have a vintage model Zippo with me today, so this lighter insert should work just fine. But if you have a slim Zippo or a 1935 replica, it's not going to work by any means. I would like it if they made a butane insert for the slim models and everything like that. I kind of want a slim model, but I don't want to buy one because I can't use any of the other inserts and everything like that kind of thing. But it's only one model, so why would they make an insert just for one model and everything like that kind of thing? Or why would they make a new insert just for one model? Because they already are making inserts for that model. It's just that it's a normal Zippo insert, not like this kind of thing. But if you guys only use slim or 1935 replica model Zippos, this insert will not work for you. I do want to acknowledge. Moving on below that, it just says Zippo right there with the classic Zippo logo. And then under that, it just says Zippo Manufacturing Company, 33 Barber Street, Bradford, Pennsylvania, 16701. And then there's a line right there, and it just says Zippo.com right there. A little bit of a flame to the side. And then under that, it just says lighter insert manufactured in China to Zippo quality standards. Sure, like I believe that. hope it's actually true, but I don't know. I don't know personally. But moving on, below this text, there's this black line, and then there's a red background right there, and it just says in white, see detailed instructions inside. Moving on from the back to the side right here, it's just a white background with black text and some little red bits on it and whatnot. Just says cleaner burning, and then under here it just says compared to Zippo lighter fluid. Then under that just says yellow flame, refillable with butane fuel, flint wheel ignition, fits all regular Zippo lighter cases, and then it's got a little bit of cross right there, and that is that acknowledgement right there. So basically just saying, hey, it's a cleaner burning insert when compared to a normal Zippo insert. It's got the yellow flame, so it's not a torch lighter. It's refillable with butane fuel like a lot of other lighters are. Flint wheel ignition, not electric. I don't really like electric ignition lighters, just not my personal thing. I prefer flint wheel, so I'm glad that this is a flint wheel. And there it's just letting you know that it fits with all regular Zippo cases, quote unquote. You know, certainly no complaints on my behalf. Nice little bit of information right there. And then on the other side, we just get a red background, white details, and they're all kind of squared off and whatnot. Just says built to last, reusable, pocket-sized, reliable spark, easy ignition. So basically just trying to say, hey, this is a quality lighter that's gonna work for a very long time, and it's gonna work easy too. It's pretty much what they're trying to say with this side right here. And this is the second to last side that I need to cover. All that's left is the bottom. We just get the barcode right there, and there's a number right there that just says C22, and just says part number, color chrome, and model number Z8A20. I don't know what the C22 mean. That's probably a sort of shipping code or something like that kind of thing, or like batch number. I'm not exactly sure, frankly put, but it does say that right there. And this is the chrome color. They do also make a brass color, I want to say as well, that's a little bit more yellowy. So if you've got a brass insert and you want it to fit color-wise with your brass insert, they do make a sort of like gold or brass colorway of the chrome as well. But you know, that's pretty much all there is to the packaging. I do suppose without further ado now, I should probably go ahead and get this all opened up, and I should probably go ahead and take a look at what's actually inside the packaging for the first time. So let's go ahead and just get that all opened up just like that. Let's go and peel that over just like that. And now, let's see if I can, I think I'm just supposed to, oh wait, okay. So I thought I was supposed to like just pull that out, but I'm not. So there's instructions right here. I'm gonna put under my Zippo lighter just so they don't blow away, because it is a little bit breezy today. And then there's a lighter right there. So I'm just trying to figure out how to get this out now without like completely destroying the packaging. Oh, there we go. Just got it out just like that. So I just needed to do a little bit of a sort of, boom, just like that kind of thing. I'll just go ahead and just give it a go real quick. Okay, so my initial impressions are that this is really small. That's like one of the main complaints I read about this insert, and that's definitely one of the main complaints I have right off my bat, is that this sort of button right here, while it does feel nice and while it does make a nice little bit of a clicky noise, it is a bit small, frankly put. It could be a little bit bigger, and I would definitely prefer it if it was a little bit bigger. That's just really my main complaint right off the bat. Overall, this lighter looks pretty nice. It's got a very nice chrome look to it. Just has the Zippo dots up here, as we can see. And those Zippo dots are also a thing on the normal Zippo lighter. That's why this one has the normal Zippo dots, except they're not actually holes like on this one. Like they're holes on this one to make this like wind resistant and whatnot. But this one, it's just a sort of, it's just a, what's the right way of putting it? It's a nozzle type lighter, not a wick type lighter, so it doesn't really need that, nor even if it had that, would it really do it any good, frankly put. But there's those classic holes there, nonetheless, to just make this lighter just look a little bit more classic than not. We can see the Zippo hook right there that hooks into the case to make the case actually flip open and to make sure this insert does not fall out and whatnot. We just have the flint wheel right there, which does make a nice little bit of a spark, a pretty big spark if I do say so myself. And then the button is just right there. And the button, it's not like super easy to grab, but your fingers definitely can fall off of it a little bit more easily than not. So yeah, it's a bit small in all honesty. And there's also, I mean, like there's a decent amount of give, and it's got a nice sort of clicky noise to it, but it's not quite big enough for my hands at least. And it doesn't really give quite enough either. Like I'm used to lighters with these sort of like buttons and whatnot to give a little bit more. This one, it's kind of like on or off, on or off, on or off. There's no sort of give at all, frankly put. Moving on below the sort of top of the lighter right here, we can just see it just says Zippo right there, and a sort of gray on the chrome. And it just says Zippo Manufacturing Company, Bradford, PA, Z8A20, that's just the model code, C22, which I guess is like the batch code or something like that kind of thing. Not exactly sure. That's what it says on the front. Moving on to the back, we can see it's pretty much the exact same look, but, well, it has a warning label on this side. Just says, warning, keep out of reach of children, ignite away from face and clothing, blah, 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 manufactured in China to Zippo quality standards. Notice how they're saying that a little bit smaller than not, in all honesty. We can see there are two little sort of like ovals right here that kind of dip out just a little bit. I think that's meant to keep this insert in the lighter a little bit better than not. Normal Zippo inserts do not have that. And just taking a look at the bottom, we can see the refill nozzle right there and the flint sort of refill area right there as well. From what I've heard, at least this lighter does not have any sort of flame adjustment. I am going to take a look through the instructions in just a moment, just to make sure I wasn't looking at outdated information. But while there is a screw right there that looks like it might be flame adjustment, from what I know, it's not. And we can also see there's two other screws on the bottom just to make sure everything stays together. You know, that's pretty much all there is look-wise to this lighter. Overall, looks pretty good, and really my main issue with the insert right off the bat is just how small the button is. Other than that, you know, it's pretty solid in my personal opinion, and it has a very nice weight to it as well. Does it have more weight to it than a normal Zippo insert? Oh, definitely. This is like a lot heavier than this. This is like almost two of these. Like, you know, this is heavy compared to a normal Zippo insert, frankly put. It is quite weighty. I'm looking forward to finding out how heavy my Zippo lighter is with this insert in it, in all honesty. But let's go ahead and just take a look at the instructions real quick. Just has Zippo yellow flame butane insert right there and everything like that kind of thing. Let's just get my sunglasses off and just open this up and just make sure I'm getting everything right and everything like that. The instructions, it's nothing too big of a deal by any means. There is a 2-year limited warranty, which is nice. So if it breaks or something like that kind of thing, I have a 2-year warranty. It just says warnings, blah, 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 blah. Pretty much everything is said warning-wise on the packaging. Let's take a look at the back. Just has this sort of diagram right there. Just has the flint wheel, ignition, flame cam, butane filling valve, and flint screw. So, you know, there's no sort of, I'd have to say, like flame adjustment area or anything like that, sadly. But honestly, I'd much rather have a lighter that works with no flame adjustment than a lighter that doesn't work with a flame adjustment. So I can't complain too much. Just says, always fill with Zippo Ronson butane fuel for best performance. I am refilling with Ignitus premium refined butane today. I am not going to be using Zippo or Ronson butane by any means. This is like the cheapest butane you can buy, and it's probably used by people for huffing butane, frankly put. It's probably not generally used for Zippo lighters, but just says, always fill the butane insert in the upside down position. Fill or refill in a well-ventilated area. I think this should count. I think I'm going to be all good. For safe refilling, ensure proper mating between refill can and nozzle and lighter filling valve. Firmly press butane can tip downwards into inlet filling valve for 6 seconds. Wait at least 2 minutes after refilling before using the insert. This allows the excess gas to evaporate and the butane in the insert to stabilize. So I'm going to have to be careful about that. And it also says to reflint your butane insert, you just remove the screw. And blah, 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 blah. So the refilling the flint itself works pretty much in the exact same way as a normal Zippo insert. We can see there's a little bit of a brass screw right there. You just take that out and then you just fill up the flint that way and whatnot. Looks like it works the exact same way with this one. While I am waiting for the butane to stabilize in this lighter, I might just take that out just to see and whatnot. But I do suppose, without further ado, I should probably now go ahead and actually get some butane in my new Zippo butane insert to actually, well, find out how it works and everything like that. Gotta wait 2 minutes, so let's go ahead and get it done with now. I'm gonna go ahead and get the cap off of my Ignitus butane, and I'm gonna go ahead and take my insert, and I'm going to fill it up in an upside down position on the table I am at right now. There is a little bit of a white piece in... like a little bit of a white piece in like that hole right there. I hope that that's not going to cause any issues or anything like that kind of thing. Like, just grab my knife real quick and just see. It's a little piece of paper that got stuck in there. That's, no, a little piece of styrofoam. That's not good. And I can't get that out with my knife, frankly, but, well, I'm gonna go ahead and just refill this anyway. So they said 6 seconds, put it down, make sure the nozzle is mated properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The insert itself is not getting cold. We'll have to find out if that actually worked or not. I'm not very good at filling up butane inserts, in all honesty. It's starting to get a little bit cold now. I hope that worked. I'm not exactly sure. There's no sort of refill window or anything like that. I'd really like it if this had a refill window as well so I can tell how much fluid is in it. That's not a thing on this. Most like cigar lighters have that. Not this lighter though. It's gonna take a little bit more. Hopefully that worked. We will find out, but I'm gonna go ahead and just let this do its thing for the next minute or two. And now I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get this out with I think I've got a multi-tool with me today. I think I have a Gerber Suspension NXT. That should work pretty well, although you can use a penny as well. Fly on me. Get away from me, Mr. Fly. I ain't trying to mess with no flies today, you know what I'm saying? But let's go and grab my multi-tool I've got right here. I should have a, yes I do. Go and get this out, just like that. Here we go. So this should make it really easy to get that out. So let's just go ahead and just try to get this out, and it should have a spring as well, so I'm gonna be very careful. Oh, there we go. Was not super tight by any means, very easily came out. Just gonna see. Hope I don't lose the flint by doing this, but I wouldn't be surprised if I do. There we go. Alrighty, just got that out. So this is just what the spring looks like. Came out pretty easily, no issue at all. Go get the flint out. And that is what the flint looks like as well. Just a little bit of a piece of gold flint. I don't think I've ever seen gold flint before. So basically how you refill this is you just throw the flint in the hole, just like that. Make sure it goes all the way down. Just gonna take it back out just to make sure it's all good. So there we go. It goes all the way in, just like that. And then you just take this right here, and you just shove it all the way down, push it down, and just start screwing. If you can. Oh, I've got it lopsided. I'm trying to do this properly, you know? There we go. And now I'm gonna go ahead and just screw it all back with my multi-tool. I did just scratch up the bottom just a little bit, that's okay though. To anybody from Zippo watching, if this lighter needs a warranty claim, that's not what broke it. All right, and that should work just like that. Got it back down. It's not a particularly tight fit by any means, but it does have a spot where it kind of likes to stop. So I've just stopped it right there. And I think it's been about 2 minutes, so let's go and give it a shot. Let's go ahead and see if it works. Oh. Not sure. Maybe I didn't really get any in it. It's kind of hard to tell just because I'm just trying to fold my, oh man, ow, that hurt. I'm just trying to fold my stuff back into my multi-tool and whatnot. It's kind of hard to tell because there's no window. So I can't tell how much fluid is actually in my insert. I don't hear any. I'm not getting any sort of flame. I'm thinking I might have not actually filled it up. Let's try this again. I spilled a lot of fluid. We can see the bottom of this is quite frosty, frankly put. Styrofoam is kind of peeking its head out. Let's see if I can get it out with my, with this. I think we got, do I have scissors on here as well? I think I might try to use my scissors. See if I can get it out with the scissors. Now, the scissors were even worse than the pliers. Well, I'm gonna go and give this another 2 minutes, and then hopefully it's gonna work. Maybe I'm just doing something wrong. I'm not very good at filling up butane inserts, but it definitely makes it harder when there's no sort of, well, window to tell whether I'm actually doing it or not. Ow, my fingers. There we go. Fold that back in. Put that down on the table. Oh, Gerber Suspension NXT. It works good, especially since I bought it for like 14 bucks. So, certainly cannot complain. The insert itself now is much colder than it was. So I'm thinking it's actually got some fluid in it now. I'm just gonna let it stabilize for the next minute or so. And I'm being swarmed by flies right now. I sat down at this little bit of a park shelter because it's a little bit rainy today. And I sat down and I was like, oh, there's a bunch of flies. Yeah, they never went away. They started swarming me. So it hasn't been horrible. Definitely not as bad as mosquitoes, but it's not great either. I definitely am not a big fan of the flies, to say the least, to say the least. Go put the cap back on. Butane. Take myself a little bit of a sip of water while we're waiting. Why not? I got time to burn, right? Alrighty though. Thinking it might have been 2 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and just wipe the bottom with the condensation on my pants. Just like that. Use my shirt as well, just get really into the crevices and whatnot. And now that I've done that, let's go ahead and put it in my case. Fits very well, not loose at all. And these little two little areas right there, definitely kind of slide it in and make it where it's not gonna move at all, which is really nice. See if it wants to work now. There we go, y'all. There we go. First light. Now the flame is not adjustable, and it is not particularly wind resistant either. I can say that right off the bat. And it is a little bit bigger than not. Now, I like big flames. I don't mind big flames by any means, and that is a pretty solidly sized flame. So I'm not really terribly worried about the flame being too big. I saw one of the complaints about the lighter is that it's not an adjustable flame and that the flame is too big. Honestly, that's a good size flame for me, so I'm really not going to complain in all honesty. I'm just going to put my knife away real quick just because I don't think I'm going to be needing it anymore. And let's see, is there anything else I want to cover about this lighter just before I go ahead and get a cigarette lit up? The Zippo lighter itself with the soft flame insert in it, the butane insert in it, it's very heavy. It's really heavy. It's definitely a lot heavier than with the classic Zippo insert in it, for sure. It is much heavier, to say the least, like probably about 50 to 60% heavier. So like if a normal Zippo lighter is already pretty weighty, this is like you could consider this to be almost double as weighty. It's pretty weighty, to say the least, and I've heard that some people who use like Armor Zippos, which are already pretty heavy, and use this insert as well, they say it's too heavy. I don't have an Armor Zippo. I have a vintage, which is about the same weight as just a normal Zippo lighter. So not too big of a deal, but either way, this is now a lot more weighty than it was, to say the least. So that is one thing. If you don't like a heavy Zippo lighter, this is not gonna be the insert for you, of course. When it's in the case, it stays in there pretty well, but still slides out pretty easily, and this is with a Zippo Vintage, of course. So with a regular Zippo lighter, I assume it's gonna be more of the same. With the Zippo Armor, some people did say that it was a bit loose and whatnot. I can't comment about the, what was it, the 1941 replica. Can't comment on that. I haven't heard anybody talk about how it was in one of those, but in the vintage sort of style Zippo lighter, it's a pretty nice firm fit. And honestly, I'd have to say it's a slightly more firm fit than just a normal Zippo insert. With this normal Zippo insert, it kind of slides in just like that. But while it is firm, it does kind of like to slide out a little bit over time, and you kind of have to press it back in. This slides in easier, and honestly, it seems like a firmer fit. And I think the reason why it feels like a firmer fit is all due to these little areas right here. So that is definitely a good addition to the insert, to say the least. One other thing to mention about this is that the chrome does catch fingerprints a lot. You're gonna have fingerprints all over the chrome, frankly put, and I assume it's gonna be the same way on the gold/brass version as well. The flame, pretty big as we can see. Definitely not wind resistant at all though. There's just a little bit of a light breeze right now, not even super breezy. It's not great to say the least. Does stay on pretty well, and it's not too hard to keep it on either. Of course, once you just do that, it is gonna go off once you let off the button and everything like that kind of thing. It's not like a normal Zippo lighter where you close the lid and it goes off. That's just how a normal Zippo lighter works, because it just works by getting rid of the air around the lighter itself. Not with this one though. It is a button because it is a nozzle insert, of course. Yeah, I think really my main complaint with the insert just right off the bat isn't the quality, it isn't the weight, it's the button. The button is too small. Now, honestly, I saw a lot of complaints online about how not wind resistant the lighter is and everything like that kind of thing. Like, yeah, for sure, it's not as wind resistant as a normal Zippo insert, but it's about the same as a clipper or a Bic or something like that kind of thing. Like, there's like a little bit of a light breeze going on, and it was doing an okay job for a minute there. Like, not too bad by any means. It's about the same as like a normal clipper or a Bic or a normal, just any other nozzle sort of lighter, frankly put. This insert, from what I can tell at least, essentially turns your lighter into a glorified refillable Bic. And that's something I really like, because I really like Bic lighters. I think they are one of the best usable lighters to use every single day out there. I actually think they are the best lighter to use every single day out there, even more so than Zippo lighters, mainly because of evaporation. But I'm thinking this insert might have solved that issue in all honesty, because, well, Bic lighters aren't refillable. This one is though. How many lights will this lighter actually work? I don't know. I think Zippo says anywhere from like 60 to 100 lights. Not exactly sure though, in all honesty. Looking forward to finding out though. But, you know, it does go out due to the breeze, but, you know, holding it kind of like that and whatnot, it's not so bad by any means. Yeah, you know, the flame's a little bit big. It goes out easily due to the wind and everything like that kind of thing, but that's nothing abnormal. Very heavy in the case for sure. Easier than not to fill up, but not super intuitive just because there's no refill window. You know, as a whole, it's not perfect in my personal opinion, but it's definitely better than nothing. It's certainly better than nothing. I would definitely much rather take this insert over nothing, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I've only lit it a couple times and just seen how it is with how big the flame is, and seen how wind resistant it is, and just how comfortable the button is under hand and everything like that. Like, the strike wheel is really nice, the button's just too small and everything like that kind of thing. I've talked about all that, but I haven't actually gotten a cigarette lit up with my new Zippo butane insert quite yet. So I suppose I can't really actually let you guys know how the Zippo lighter, how the new insert works to light up cigarettes, because I haven't done that myself yet. So I do suppose, without further ado, I should probably go ahead and introduce you guys to the cigarettes. I'm going to be, or it's just cigarette. I think I might just have one, unless I'm one too. But I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys to the cigarette I'm going to be smoking today. Today I'm going to be smoking a 7 Stars 14 hard pack cigarette. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this pack all opened up. Let's go ahead and get one of the cigarettes all out. And now, without further ado, let's go ahead and, well, get this cigarette all lit up with my new Zippo Yellow Flame Butane insert, and light a cigarette with my new insert for the first time, and find out just how well or just how bad it works to light cigarettes up with. Without further ado, let's go and get this cigarette right here, all lit up. Yes sir, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, works great. Works great. I'm like, don't get me wrong, there's a little bit of a butane-y sort of taste on the first hit or two, but that's normal for a refillable lighter, and that's normal just for any lighter in general, in all honesty. You're gonna get that from a Bic lighter, you're gonna get that from a clipper, you're gonna get that from a crack lighter, you're gonna get that from any lighter, frankly put. It's to be expected that there's gonna be a little bit of an off taste from the butane right at the very beginning, and there certainly is. It's not a Zippo lighter fluid taste, it is a butane taste. So if you don't like the Zippo lighter fluid taste in your cigarettes at the very beginning, and sometimes that taste can stick a little bit more so than not, I will acknowledge. If you don't like that taste though, I do think this insert could be a good option for you if you still want the form of the Zippo lighter, but without the classic Zippo insert. As a whole, lit up the cigarette very easily. The very large flame is nice. I don't have to hold the lighter too close to my face by any means. That is something that's going to take some getting used to, both with Bic lighters and clipper lighters, and honestly with the normal Zippo insert. Sometimes I do have to hold it a little bit closer to the cigarette than not. With this flame though, not so much, just simply because it is so big. It's not something I mind by any means, but I can totally see why it might be something that some people might mind. But, you know, did a pretty good job of lighting my cigarette up, in all honesty. Now, of course, this video is just kind of my initial impressions. And I'll admit, my initial impressions are much better than not. I do think the insert could be better, but it's much better than not, frankly. But my initial impressions are really good. I really like the insert right off the bat. Only time will tell how reliable it truly is. Only time will tell how long it lasts. For all I know, I might end up still preferring a Bic lighter. But right now, at least, I do think if I had to choose between a Bic lighter, which is not refillable, and a Zippo lighter with a yellow flame butane insert, honestly, it'd be an easy decision. I'd choose the Zippo with the yellow flame butane insert. It's refillable, it's cheaper, and it just has a more fancy form to it. And I get Zippo noises. I like that. I like that quite a bit. I like Zippo noises. I like the form factor. And as a whole, since the insert does light up cigarettes pretty well, you know, I do think I like the insert a little bit more so than not. The butane taste has pretty much completely gone away. It's been gone away for a while. It goes away as quickly as, like, let's say a Bic lighter taste or a clipper lighter taste or something like that kind of thing. It doesn't stick around by any means. I've pretty much just made my Zippo lighter into a clipper. That's pretty much what I've done, in all honesty. And I consider that to be a good thing. Some kid is screaming over there. I'm feeling a little bit buzzed though, I will acknowledge. This is my third cigarette of the day. Had some stuff going on today, earlier on today, so I didn't have a chance to smoke too much, but feeling a little bit buzzed due to the fact that this is my third cigarette of the day. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. Yeah, you know, I like it. Let me go and put this, let me get more judgment up. Let me go and put that in my pocket. Is it too heavy in my pocket? I can definitely tell, just right off the bat with the Zippo lighter in my pocket, that it's heavier. You can definitely feel the extra weight in your pocket, 100% for sure. But for me at least, it's not a big deal. I don't carry too much stuff in my pocket by any means though. In my pocket right here, I carry a flashlight on a hook, plus AirPods and my lighter. That's what I carry in my pocket. I do not carry a lot of stuff in my pocket. I would not recommend carrying this in the same pocket with your phone. I do think that would be a bit too heavy, but if you're not carrying too much in your pockets, or if you use a purse or something like that, or if you keep your lighter in your backpack or whatever, you just keep it in a separate bag in general, you know, I don't think the extra weight's gonna be a big deal at all. But if you normally keep, if you're looking at going from a Bic lighter to this, and you normally keep your Bic lighter in the same pocket with your phone, might be a bit much, but other than that, the weight is not a big deal. If you have a Zippo Armor, might be a different story. I don't have a Zippo Armor though, so I can't comment on that. As a whole, though, this was a pretty solid smoke. Definitely did enjoy it. I think I've got 1 or 2 more hits left, so I'm gonna go and take those last 1 or 2 hits. And then after that, I'm gonna go and give you guys my final thoughts on this lighter, let you guys know what I think of it as a whole. And then after that, I'm gonna go end the video right there. But I'm gonna go and stub this cigarette out. This bench is really high up, and I keep hitting my head when I'm trying to like bend down and stub my cigarette on the ground and whatnot. Alrighty though, it is all out. I'm gonna go ahead and put my butt under my old cigarette insert, just the normal, or not cigarette insert, Zippo insert. What am I saying? But now it's time for me to go ahead and cover my final thoughts on the Zippo Yellow Flame Butane insert, and it's time for me to let you guys know whether I like it or not, and whether I would buy it again. And I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the latter question. Would I buy a Zippo Yellow Flame Butane insert again? Right now, I would. If I, for some reason, misplaced the insert for whatever reason, or if I just wanted to get another insert for another one of my Zippo lighters, I'd definitely buy another one again, right now at least. But it depends on the reliability of the lighter. If it goes kaput on me, different story. But right now at least, I would definitely buy another one of these again. Even for retail. It's like 20 bucks retail, I think it was. So not horrible by any means. And if it was on sale, it's an even better deal. So if you guys can find these on sale, I definitely say 100% worth the price. Do I think they're worth 20 bucks? Yeah, I do think they're worth 20 bucks. I think it's definitely $20, I think is a good price to pay for something that's gonna make your Zippo lighter a little bit more usable. And I think it's a good price to pay for something that's just gonna make your Zippo lighter just a little bit better to use on a daily basis, frankly put. Are you really gonna get your money back from the $20 you spent? I'm like, if you use it for long enough, but it depends if the insert actually lasts that long. Like for Bic lighters, I generally have a Bic lighter and it lasts me like 4 to 6 months. That's a normal size Bic lighter, not a mini or a slim flick or something like that kind of thing. Just normal size Bic lighter, 4 to 6 months is general for me. So this is gonna have to last, and a Bic lighter normally costs like what, $1.50? So this is gonna have to last for at least like 5 years. More than 5 years for me to get my money out of it, frankly put. So if it lasts for 5 years, I'm gonna get my money back and I'm gonna be very happy. Don't know if that's actually gonna happen, but I certainly do hope it will. But, you know, overall, I think if you already have a Zippo lighter, it's definitely a good purchase. And even if you don't have a Zippo lighter and you're considering buying one, and the main holdup was the evaporation, I think it could be a good purchase as well. But it's not a perfect insert by any means. I like it. I'd buy it again. I think it's worth the price. But there are some issues that I do have with it. I like the weight of it. That's not an issue to me, at least. I like the quality of it. The quality seems very good. But I don't like the fact that it does not have a fluid sort of area where you can see how much fluid you have in it and whatnot. And so as such, that you run the risk of running out all of a sudden without realizing, rather than I could just check it every morning and refill it when I need to and whatnot. You can't check it. So that's number one issue I have. And number two issue I have is the button right here. There's just not enough give, and it's too small as well. My finger slips off of it very easily. So there's just not really enough give, and even though there is a little bit of a thing right there, it should just be a little bit longer, in all honesty, just because it's just a bit small. It is just a bit small. That's my personal take, at least. There's not enough give under the button, and it is a bit too small for my hands, at least. If you have smaller hands, might be better. For my hands, it's not the greatest. But nonetheless, I do like the Yellow Flame Butane Zippo insert. It's not perfect. I will be critical of it, and I have been critical of it for the button and for the lack of a lighter fluid window, or butane window, whatever you want to call it. But other than those two factors, I like the insert more so than not. And I think I'm definitely going to be enjoying using it in the future. And I definitely will be using it in the future. This is going to be my new go-to lighter for the moment at least. Yeah, certainly no complaints on my behalf. I like the insert a little bit more so than not, and I certainly am looking forward to using it a lot more in the future. What is the rating I would give the Zippo Yellow Flame butane insert? Well, right now it's going to be getting a mid 3 out of 4. It's really good. I like it, but it's not perfect. It's not the best thing ever. My rating scale goes from a 1 to 4, with 1 being like, this is horrible, never buy this. A 2 being like, you know, it's okay, but like, whatever. That's like crack lighter territory kind of thing. Like, it works, but like, you really don't want to buy it. 3 out of 4 is like, you know, it's pretty good, but it's not like perfect. That's like Clipper territory for me. And a 4 out of 4 is like a Bic lighter. I love my Bic lighters. And just a normal Zippo is like almost a 4 out of 4. But then there's the evaporation issue, which does push it down into like a high 3 out of 4. So for me, for my uses, this lighter is better than a normal Zippo insert, and it's very much a mid 3 out of 4. But I definitely can see how it might be annoying to use at some points, just simply because of the button, frankly put. The button really is my biggest hang up. It's really my biggest hang up with it, but definitely going to be enjoying using it. And as long as it's reliable in the future, I'd have to say that my opinion on it being a good buy will stand. That's if it continues being reliable in the future. If it's not, different story. But I think that's pretty much all I had to say for this video. I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching my video where I used my new Zippo Yellow Flame butane insert for the first time and let you guys know what I think of it and gave it a little bit of a review as well. Certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video today. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have one of the same inserts I showcased in today's video, and let me know what y'all's thoughts are on the insert as well. What do you guys think of it? Is the button an issue to use? The lack of a refill window an issue to you? Let me know in the comments down below, and let me know if you guys have any other issues or positives that you really like about it. And of course, also make sure to, well, like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my PO box, and my second channel all in the description down below. Go check it all out. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. Till the next one, stay safe in peace and have a great one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.